Good morning, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Grandpop coming to you from the living room in Jacksonville Beach, and we're going to pick up today in the 12th chapter of The Little Prince. And he's gone from planet to planet. These little tiny planets called asteroids. And we know we're in chapter 12 because we see X, which stands for 10, and I. So it's 10, 1, 1. 10 plus 1 plus 1, and that equals 12. And now we're going to see him on a planet. It says that the next planet was inhabited by a drinker. This visit was very short, but she plunged the little prince into a great melancholy. And melancholy means sad. "What are you doing here?" said the drinker, who he found installed silently in front of a collection of empty bottles and a collection of full bottles. "I am drinking," replied the drinker with a lugubrious air. And lugubrious also means sad. So you have a lugubrious, melancholic person, a lugubrious, melancholy person, and I believe that would make them melancholic. "Why are you drinking?" the little prince asked him. So first he was a woman, now he's a man. So they keep switching with a lot of things here. "To forget," replied the drinker. "To forget what?" asked the little prince, who was already complaining. "To forget that I am ashamed," confessed the drinker, lowering the head. "Ashamed of what?" inquired the little prince, who wanted to rescue him. "Ashamed of drinking," completed the drinker, who definitely shut himself up in silence. And the little prince went away puzzled. The grown-ups are decidedly, really, really weird, he said to himself during the trip. And that's the theme here. The grown-ups are weird. So now we're in 13. X, I. The fourth planet was that of a businessman. So the theme here is that it's acting like this is a little prince who's going from planet to planet, but it's really like a kid looking at people and what they are. So you had a king, you had this drinker the last time. There was one other person, and I can't remember who it was. So he's gone on this journey from type of person to type of person. So now we have a businessman. The fourth planet was that of a businessman. This man was so busy that he did not even raise his head when the little prince arrived. And they're all on these planets that are just inhabited by one person. They're the only one on there. "Hello," he told him. "Your cigarette is extinguished." 3 plus 2 equals 5. 5 plus 7, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. Hello. 15 plus 7, 22. 22 plus 6, 28. No time to light it up. 26 plus 5, 31. Phew. So this is 501,622,731. And so like what the kid sees is this person who's so busy and they're counting, and he doesn't even know what he's counting. That he has a cigarette, and it's out, but he's too busy to light it up. 500 million what? Are you still there? 500 million of. Well, I don't know. I have so much work. I am serious. I don't have fun with nonsense. 2 plus 5, 7. 500 million what? Repeated the little prince, who had never in his life given up a question once he had asked it. The businessman raised his head. For 54 years I have lived in this planet. I have not been bothered more than 3 times. The first time was 22 years ago by a cockchafer that had fallen from God knows where. And I don't know what a cockchafer is. He radiated a terrible noise, and I made 4 minutes in a sum. I made 4 mistakes in a sum. The second time was 11 years ago by a rheumatism crisis. I need to work out. I don't have the time to go for a walk. I am serious. The third time, well, here it is. So I said 501 million. Million what? The businessman understood that there was no longer hope of peace. So all this dude wants to do is continue his counting. Million of these small things that we sometimes see in the sky. Flies? No, little things that shine. And I know what they are, but bees? No, golden little things that make lazy people daydream. But I'm serious. I don't have time to daydream. Ah, stars. That's right, stars. And what do you do with 500 million stars? So this dude for 50 years has been counting stars, and he's up to 500 million stars. What do you do with 500 million stars? 501,622,000, even 131. I am serious. I am accurate. And what do you do with those stars? What do I do? Yes, nothing. I own them. So the king, he was in charge of everything, and this guy owns all the stars. You own the stars? Yes. But I have already seen a king that the kings do not own. They reign over. It's very different. And what is the purpose of owning the stars? My purpose is to be rich. And what is the purpose of being rich? To buy other stars if someone finds that one. That the little prince said to himself, he thinks a little like my drunk man. However, he still asked questions. How can someone own the stars? Whom are they? The businessman hit back grumpy. I don't know. Anyone's. Then they're mine because I thought of it first. Is that enough? Of course. When you find a diamond that is nobody's, it's yours. When you find an island that is nobody's, it's yours. When you have an idea first, you make patent. It's yours. And I have the stars, as no one has thought to own them before me. That's true, said the little prince. And what do you do? I manage them. And that's the businessmen. They're big. They're managers. I manage them. I count and I recount them, said the businessman. It's hard, but I'm a serious man. The little prince was not satisfied yet. If I had a scarf, I could put it around my sock and carry it. But you can't pick the stars. My purpose is to be rich. Oh, wait, we're once again, this part over here we already read. I don't know why the book does that, but things in life aren't perfect, guys. No, but I can put them in the bank. What does that mean? That means that I write on a piece of paper the number of my stars, and then I lock this paper in a drawer with a key. And that's all? It's enough. That is funny, thought the little prince. It is quite poetic, but it is not very serious. So this guy's whole thing is that he's serious, and the prince is like, "Yeah, that's not serious at all. You know, you don't own crap." The little prince had ideas about serious things very different from the ideas of grown-ups. I have one flower that I water every day, he still said. I have 3 volcanoes that I sweep every week. Because I sweep the one, because I sweep the one that is inactive. You never know. It is useful to my volcanoes, and it is useful to my flower that I own them, but you are not useful to the stars. And that's a very good point. When you own something, um, like you own a cat, you're useful to it. You take care of the cat, you feed it, you change the litter box and all that kind of stuff. But the stars, you can't take care of them. I own a guitar. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. And if I just left this guitar sitting out on the back deck for a year, it would be worthless. It would not be useful anymore. So I'm useful to it in a way because I maintain it. I keep it in a good environment. I change the strings. I polish it once every 50 or 70 years. And so it works. The businessman opened his mouth but found nothing to answer. And the little prince went away. The grown-ups are definitely quite extraordinary, he said simply to himself during the trip. So let's see what he gets into next. And we're in 14. And so we know because we have an X, that's a 10, and one I before V. So you have an X, that's a 10, and a V, that's a 5. So if you just had XV, it would be 15. 10 plus 5. But this is 10 plus 5 minus 1. The 5th planet was very curious. It was the smallest of all. There was just enough space to house a lamppost and a lamplighter. The little prince could not explain how it could be useful somewhere in the sky on a planet without house or population, a lamppost and a lamplighter. However, he said to himself, perhaps this man is foolish. However, he is less foolish than the king, than the vainglorious. That was the second person, the vainglorious guy who was just into having praise heaped on him. Then the businessman, And then the drinker, at least his work has a meaning. When he lights his lamp, it is as if he gave birth to one more star or to a flower. When he blows out his lamp, it puts the flower or star to sleep. It is a very beautiful occupation. It is truly useful since it is beautiful. And so here we go. Here he is, and you can see the sun coming up here. And this is the lamp, and this guy's a lamplighter. He's got this long rod, and it has a light at the end of it. It's like a candle almost. It's got a wick which is on fire, and he opens it up, and this is a gas light. So there's gas that's underneath the ground that comes up here. It goes up into here, and there's a little thing called a mantle. We used to have one of these in front of our house in Stone Harbor, a gas lamp. And I think my dad had to light it. It wasn't way up. There used to be like street lights that were gas lights, gas lamps. And so this guy would have a real long pole to light it. But ours was down like at eye level. When he approached the planet, he respectfully saluted the lamplighter. "Hello, why do you come to blow your lamp off?" "That is the instruction," the lamplighter replied. "Good morning." "What is the instruction?" "It is to blow my lamp off." "Good evening." And he relit it. "But why do you come to relight it?" "That is the instruction," replied the lamplighter. So he's just following orders, this lamplighter. He's a working man. "I don't understand," said the little prince. "There's nothing to understand," said the lamplighter. "The instruction is the instruction. I'm just following orders. 6 million Jews get baked in ovens in World War II because people were gone. There's nothing to understand. The instruction is the instruction." It's something that you need to guard against in your life. To do something stupid just because it's what I was told to do. And he blew his lamp off. Then he wiped up the forehead with a red checkered handkerchief. "I am doing a terrible job. It used to be reasonable. I blew it off in the morning, and I lighted it at night. I had the rest of the day to rest, and the rest of the night to sleep." He's on this little planet, and that's what he does. Gets up in the morning, blows the lamp out, rests all day, turns the lamp on at night, goes to bed. And it just happens over and over and over again. From that time, has the instruction changed? "The instruction has not changed," said the lamplighter. This is exactly the drama. The planet, year by year, has become faster and faster, and the instruction has not changed. And that's what happens. You'll find out when you get into the working world that people say, "Well, that's how we do it around here." That's never the answer. How we do it around here might be the best way to do it, but you have to figure that out on an ongoing basis. "Then," said the little prince, "then, now that it makes one revolution per minute, I do not have a second to rest anymore. I light it and blow it off once per minute." So it's so this guy's like going crazy, and if it's going on exponentially, he'll just be He'll die from exhaustion. It is funny. The days at your house last 1 minute. What do you think the lamplighter's going to say? This is not funny at all, said the lamplighter. We have been talking for 1 month. 1 month? Yes, 30 minutes, 30 days. Good evening. And he relit his lamp. The little prince looked at him, and he liked this lamplighter who was so loyal to the instructions. He remembered the sunsets that he once went to look for by moving his chair. He wanted to help his friend. You know, I know a way for you to relax when you want. I always want, said the lamplighter, because we can be faithful and lazy at the same time. The little prince continued. Your planet is so small that you go around it in 3 strides. You only have to walk slowly enough to always stay at the sun. When you want to relax, you will wait. You will walk, and the day will last as long as you like. It does not take me so far, said the lamplighter. That is what I like in life, sleep. It is not luck, said the little prince. It is not luck. It is not luck, said the lamplighter. Good morning. That is not funny at all, said the lamplighter. We have been talking for 1 month. Oh, there we go. We're back there. And he lighted his lamp. This one, said the little prince, as he further continued his journey, this one would be despised by all the others, by the king, by the vainglorious man, by the drinker, by the businessman. However, he is the only one that does not seem ridiculous to me. It is perhaps because he takes care of things other than himself. Wow, that's pretty deep, because all those other people, they're focused on themselves. They want power, the king and the businessman, or glory. And the drinker, he just wants to forget. He's ashamed. But he's totally focused on himself. You don't know what he's ashamed of. He's just, oh, I'm ashamed. Oh, no, we do know what he's ashamed of. Because he's a drinker. So he could, like, I drink a lot, but it's like you can't be focused just on that. All these people are focused just on one thing. He sighed with regret and still said, this one is the only one I could make my friend, but his planet is really too small. There is no room for 2. What the little prince did not dare to admit is that he felt sorry for this blessed planet above all, because of 1,440 sunsets every 24 hours. So now we're on to chapter 15, XV. The 6th planet was a planet 10 times larger. It was inhabited by an old gentleman who wrote huge books. Hello, this is an explorer, he explained when he saw the little prince. The little prince sat down on the table and breathed a little. He had already traveled so much. Where did you come from? The old gentleman said. "What is this big book?" said the little prince. "What do you do here?" And so this is a thing about, it's not just a book about adults and how weird they are. It's also a book about children and how inquisitive they are. He's asked a question and he doesn't even answer it. He just asks his own question because he wants to know. "I am a geographer," said the old gentleman. "What is a geographer?" "He's a scientist who knows where the seas, rivers, cities, mountains, and deserts are." "It is very interesting," said the little prince. "It is finally a real job." And he casted a glance around him on the geographer's planet. He had never seen a planet so majestic yet. "It is beautiful, your planet. Are there oceans?" "I cannot know," said the geographer. Ah, the little prince was disappointed. "And mountains?" "I cannot know," said the geographer. And that sucks. He's a geographer. He should know. "And cities and rivers and deserts? I cannot know either," said the geographer. "But you are a geographer." "That's right," said the geographer. "But I'm not an explorer." "I absolutely need explorers. This is not the geographer who will count cities, rivers, mountains, seas, oceans, and deserts. The geographer is too important to stroll. He does not leave his office, but he receives the explorers there. He asks them questions and takes notes of their memories, and if the memories of one of them seem interesting to him, the geographer has to carry out an investigation on the explorer's morality." I don't know why his morality, whether he's a good person. Why? Because if an explorer lies, he causes disasters in geography books, as well as an explorer who drinks too much. "Why?" said the little prince. "Because drunks see double. Then the geographer would write down 2 mountains where there is only one." "I know someone," said the little prince, "who would be a bad explorer." Yeah, because he knows that drunk from the other planet. "It's possible. So when the morality of the explorer seems good, we investigate his discovery." "Will we see it?" "No, it's too complicated. But the explorer is required to provide evidence. If, for example, it is the discovery of a huge mountain, he is required to bring large stones." The geographer suddenly was disturbed. "But you are coming from far away. You are an explorer. Describe your planet." And the geographer, having opened his book, he sharpened his pencil. "First, we write down the explorer's stories in pencil. We wait in order to write in ink that the explorer has provided evidence." Then, asked the geographer. "Ah, at home," said the little prince. "It is not very interesting. It is very small. I have 3 volcanoes, 2 active volcanoes, and an extinct volcano. But you never know." "You never know," said the geographer. "I also have a flower." "We do not take note of the flower," said the geographer. "Why?" "It's the prettiest one." "Because the flowers are ephemeral." "What does that mean, ephemeral?" "Geography books," said the geographer, "are the most serious books of all. They are never out of style. It is very rare that a mountain moves. It is very rare that an ocean is emptied of its water. We write eternal things. And that's what he's talking about. Ephemeral. I don't know the exact definition, but it's passing. The grass. It's even in the Bible that the flowers and the grass are going to pass away, but the word of God lives forever. Well, the mountains and seas and things that a geographer looks at don't die. They may change over time, but matter is matter, and they record like matter on the planet, large pieces of matter. But in real life, geographers actually leave their office and go look at stuff. Like this guy's never seen a mountain, so he needs evidence of a mountain being brought to him. Like, oh, you need to bring big rocks to prove that there's a mountain there. But the extinct volcanoes may wake up, interrupted the little prince. What does ephemeral mean? If volcanoes are extinct or awake, it is the same for us, said the geographer. What counts for us is the mountain. It does not change. But what does ephemeral mean? Repeated the little prince, who in his life had given up a question once he had asked it. That's worded weird. It means that it is threatened with imminent disappearance. My flower is threatened with imminent disappearance? Of course. My flower is ephemeral, the little prince said to himself, and it has only 4 thorns to defend itself against the world. And I left it alone at home. This was his first movement of regret, but he took courage. What do you advise me to visit? He asked. Planet Earth, replied the geographer. It has a good reputation. It's not to me. Not to a lot of people. And the little prince went away, thinking of his flower. So let's pick up in chapter 16 next time. And looks like we're a little more than halfway through the book. It's been quite a journey. Very interesting little book. Until then, peace out.